Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna start out with our normal warm-up. So we're just gonna sit crisscross. We're gonna do our washing machine breathing. So just a nice deep breath in. And then you can turn your entire upper body to the side and breathe out. Breathe in. Turn and breathe out. Breathe in. And turn and breathe out. One more each side. Breathe in. And then you can turn and breathe out. Alrighty. Now we're just going to do our neck rolls. So just draw a nice big circle at the top of your head, as big as you can. And if that's not too big or you have a certain spot that you feel like extra tight, you can just focus on stretching out that area. This one is really about what feels good for you. And switch direction whenever you're ready. Alrighty. Now we're gonna go ahead and move and do cat-cow. So we're gonna get on our hands and knees. And we're gonna start with our head and our butt towards the ceiling. And remember, take some deep breaths while you're here. And I want you to be trying to kind of stretch your lower back. I want you to be trying to open up your chest. And just do some deep breaths. And if you want to wag your tail side to side to get a little extra stretch, that is okay too. Whenever you're ready, we can switch. So head and butt go towards the ground. And do a deep breath or two here as well. Try to stretch your back while you're doing this. Deep breaths. And then you can go back to cat. And arch your back and try to get your butt and your head towards the ceiling. Perfect. All righty. Now we're gonna stand up and we can do like a little bit of a twirl to make sure we've got plenty of room. And we're gonna do our big arm circles. So try to do as big as you can arm circles. And I like to picture it just like I'm drawing massive circles with the tips of my fingers. So you want to make the tips of your fingers make as big of a circle as possible. Whenever you're ready, you can switch direction. Alrighty, great job. Okay, and now we're gonna do our arm swings. So we're gonna start by just hugging ourselves in the front and then trying to swing and almost clap behind our back if we can. And just swing them around. Great job. We can do a couple of shoulder stretches. So we're gonna take one hand, wave to the other wall and hug it to our chest. And remember to get a little extra stretch, think about like almost pushing your shoulder down to the ground. And that'll give you a little extra stretch in there. Of course, only do it as far as is comfortable. And whenever you're ready, we can switch arms, wave to the other wall. Great job. And now we're going to do the one where we take one hand, touch to the back of our other shoulder, hand on our elbow, and we can kind of pull a little bit. Very gently, again, listen to our bodies. And then whenever you're ready, we can switch hand. Alrighty, great work. And we're just gonna wiggle out our arms and let them go. So today we're going to start out with a little bit of core. We're going to do 2 exercises that use our abs. So the first one we're going to do, it's called a cross-body mountain climber. Now, I don't think we've done this one before, so I'm going to demonstrate. So you're going to start in your high plank position. So that's just where you're on your hands and your knees, and you're just kind of trying to keep your butt about flat. It's not a huge deal with this one. Your butt can go up a little bit, but not too high. Right? So my hands are right on the ground and my feet are on the ground, sorry. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up one foot and you're gonna try to touch it to your opposite elbow and then put it back down. I'm gonna lower the camera a little bit, right? So you're gonna take it and you're gonna try to touch it to your elbow. And you can put your foot back down, pick up the other one and try to touch it to your elbow like that, okay? And you should be feeling it a little bit in your abs. If at any point this is feeling too tricky or getting really tired, you can either stop and take a break, or you can just hold this position and stop moving your feet, and that can give you a little bit of a break as well, all right? So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to do 10 kind of like kicks on each leg, all right? And we're gonna go nice and slow because I don't want you to like knee yourself or anything, that would hurt. All right, and whenever you're ready, hands and feet on the ground, and then you can start. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Last one on each side. 10, 10. And you can sit back down and shake out your arms a little bit if they're a little tired. And you can kind of just sit down, let your abs relax for a second. That one I know is very tiring. If you want to try and do more, totally go for it. Do another set, but only do it as long as you can be slow and in control. If you feel like you're getting so tired that you can't do it nice and slow and in control anymore, it's time to take a break and then you can try again in the bed. All right. So next we do bicycles, and we've definitely done bicycles here before. So just sit on.
I have my bicycle. Sorry to catch you.
And what we're gonna do is we're going to lie down on our backs, right? And we can pick up one foot at a time, and we're gonna just try to kind of touch this knee with our other elbow, right? And then we can put it back down and try to touch our other knee with our other elbow, right? Again, across the body. Now for these, the easier variation is if you just want to leave your legs on the ground and pick them up one at a time, that's okay. To make it a little trickier, you can lift up both your legs, and while one foot is in, the other one's lifted, kicking out, all right? Just like this. Either one works. Whichever is better for you. There's also a variation where your feet can be like this and you can bicycle like this. So just do whatever works for you. If you're looking for a challenge, I would recommend picking up both feet. But if that's feeling a little bit too tricky for any reason, or if that's bothering any part of your like back or anything, then totally put one of your feet down. All right. We're gonna try to do 15 on each leg. Nice and slow again, all right? Whenever you're ready. Halfway there. Super close, guys. One more on each side, you got this. And you can just lie back down and relax. And you should be feeling that like right in your abs, hopefully. Awesome. And remember, these are exercises that If you think the amount we're doing together isn't enough or is too much, when you're doing it by yourself, you can do a different amount, right? So if this is feeling a little too hard and you're seeing yourself taking a lot of breaks, you can do less at a time, and you can do maybe like 5 bicycles. Take a breather and then try to do 5 again, and that's totally fine. And if you are feeling like this is super easy for you and you're not feeling any difficulty, one, make sure you're going nice and slow, don't race through it, but you can always do more, all right? So whenever you're working on your own, just listen to your body and do your right amount for your body. Okay. So our last exercise for the day is going to be a wall sit, which I believe we've also done before. So that's the one where we're going to go over and we're going to pretend we're sitting in a chair, but we're going to lean against a wall instead, right? So it's going to be, if you imagine the wall is at my back, you're going to sit down and you're going to be like leaning against the wall, all right? So like this, I'm just leaning against the wall and I'm going to slowly scoop my butt down until you see how my knees are at 90 degrees. That's where we want it. We don't want to go any lower because that's just like too low. So you want to stay at 90 degrees. Now, if this is feeling really difficult for you, you can keep your butt a little higher, right? You see how my leg, it's a little bit more than 90 degrees. It's like less bent. So that's how you can make it easier if you're having a hard time with this. Also, if at any point you're tired, you can totally stand up, take a breather, and go back down again. So we're going to try, if we can, to hold our wall sit for 30 seconds, okay? So that just means we're going to sit down, and we're just going to try to stay sitting down as I count to 30 really slowly, all right? So whenever you're ready, you kind of want your feet to be out in front of the wall just a little bit, not too far. And then you can slowly kind of scoot your butt down so it looks like you're sitting in a chair, right? You see? All righty. And you can do whatever you want with your hands. If you're feeling like you need to brace yourself on your legs, you can do that. I would recommend it's a little bit better form to have your hands up in the air and just kind of hanging out, but it's totally up to you. All right. Whenever you're ready, I'm going to start so you can get into position, and I'm going to start counting now. All right. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you should feel a little bit of a burn here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Again, it shouldn't hurt, but you should start to feel like your muscles are getting a little tired. We're almost there. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can stand on up. And I like to do like a little wiggle of my legs just to kind of release them. All right. And then you can just come and sit back down. All right. Great job, everybody. And now again, if any of those exercises you said like you feel like, oh, Callie, we didn't do enough of this, that is a-okay fine. After we're done, you can do more, or you can do a couple extra while we're sitting here and taking a short break. So now we're going to have our cool downs. So we're going to start out with our progressive straddle. So we're going to stand back up. And again, if your legs are feeling tired, I would recommend doing a little bit of a shake, but if you need to sit down and if your legs are really tired, that is a-okay too. Okay. So we're going to start with our legs a little bit far apart, not too far apart, and we're just going to bend over, and we're going to relax a little bit. We're going to swing. And I want you to like let your head sink a little bit. Don't hold any tension in your neck. And let your back and your arms just really swing. Don't hold anything tight. Whenever you're ready, you can step out your feet a little bit wider. And you can start trying to push yourself a little bit lower to get a bit of an extra stretch. You can start sort of reaching towards the ground as you're swinging. Still want you to be mostly loose though. Alrighty, and whenever you're ready, take one more step outwards so that your legs are not so far that you feel like you're gonna slip and fall over, but far enough that you feel a little bit of a stretch, all right? But make sure you're in a position where you're not gonna go whoop and fall right on over. Okay, and whenever you're ready, just take your hands and you're gonna kind of swing and try to touch the ground if you can. You can also try to touch your toes. And if the ground is feeling like it's not a stretch for you, you can kind of walk your hands backwards through your legs in that direction on the ground, right? So if I'm feeling like I really want an extra stretch, what I can do is I can reach for the floor behind me a little bit, going through my legs, all right? And of course, if this is too hard for you, that's totally fine. You don't even need to be touching the floor if that's too much of a stretch. Great job, and try to hold it for a couple more seconds. This is a really good stretch for your legs, especially after doing wall sits. All righty, and you can stand on up. And we're gonna come back in and sit down again. We're gonna do our normal knee hugs. So remember, we can put one of our legs wherever they want. It can go straight out, it can be sitting crisscross with us, whatever. And the other one, we're just gonna take, and we're gonna hold it nice and close to our chest. And again, we should feel this kind of in our upper thigh and our like outside of our butt. If you're feeling not enough stretch, you can kind of lean back a little bit and try to pull your knee closer to you. Or you can put your elbow on your knee and turn to face the wall away. Perfect. Yeah. This one is, again, a stretch. So you just want to listen to your body and do what feels good. You never want to do something that hurts. Whenever you're ready, we can switch legs. And the goal here is to try to make it so that both legs you're stretching the same amount, right? So like if you have to lean back a little bit and pull on your knee to stretch your left leg, I'm hoping that your right leg is at about the same, right? And so the goal is we want both of our legs to be a little bit balanced, because if they're not balanced, that's how we can end up like pulling something or hurting ourselves. All righty. And whenever we're ready, we can go into child's pose. So as you guys know, that means we're just gonna kind of curl up in a ball on the ground to start. And really just relax everything while you're here. Try to relax your neck and your shoulders and just let everything kind of sink into the ground if you can. And take a couple deep breaths here. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna go into Cobra. So we're gonna lie down on our stomach and then either push up to our hands or our elbows and try to open up our chest and take some nice deep breaths while looking at the wall. And you can kind of go side to side a little bit if you're feeling it. Alrighty, and when you're ready, we can go back into our Cobra ball. And again, if you're feeling super tight in your back and you feel like the relaxing and melting into the floor isn't working for you, you can try to take your hands and kind of walk them forward in front of you. And sometimes pulling a little bit on the ground in front of you can help stretch out your shoulders and your upper back just a bit. And again, focus on breathing nice and deep. Great job, everybody. And whenever you're ready, you can come on back up. All righty, and we're gonna flip over and we can do our baby pose, which, as you guys know, is kind of a free-for-all. We're just gonna lie down on our back. And generally, I would recommend trying to take either your hands on your knees or your hands on your toes. Either works. I personally like to do hands on my knees, and then I pull my knees to either side of my body to get a little extra stretch. But of course, a very gentle pull. Don't want you to like yank super hard, just a little bit of weight. But you can also put your hands on your toes and kind of kick a little bit, and that'll stretch behind your leg a little bit more. So definitely it depends on where you're feeling like you need to stretch. Love a good movement here too. You can kind of wiggle your knees, wiggle your toes, whatever you want while you're here. All right, I'm gonna kick my legs a couple of times just for fun, and then we can sit back up. All righty. Now we're going to do our calf stretch and go push the wall. So just whatever wall you did your wall sit on or you want, you take one foot and you're gonna step it back. Other foot is kind of forward, pointing towards the wall, obviously. And then you're gonna take both hands, put them on the wall, and then you're just gonna push, almost like you're trying to push the wall down. Do a couple of deep breaths while you're there. Great work. And whenever you're ready, we can switch legs. And push. Great job. And now we're going to turn around and we can kind of wiggle our feet or whatever we need. And our very last stretch of the day, we're going to do another shoulder stretch. And that's just going to be the one where we're going to hug it across our chest. Nice and tight. And switch arms. Great work. And you can just kind of roll your shoulders out. And that's going to be it for today.